Hi, it is Sunday, I'm pretty sure, and it's time for my mental health vlog. Um, wow, I have had a crazy week. So I got home from the cruise on Sunday and I did my vlog and, did laundry and went to bed. And I had taken Monday off from work, and my boyfriend woke me up Monday morning because he had gotten an email from my sister's assistant letting us know that she'd been in a motorcycle accident. So my boyfriend woke me up and said, "You need to call your mom, like now." So my sister and my brother-in-law were on a motorcycle, which I hate motorcycles, and they were heading down a road, relatively busy road, going the speed limit. It was 7:45 at night, dusk. It had been raining earlier, but the roads were pretty dry. And someone who just did not see them basically turned left, I would say in front of them, but it was pretty much just on top of them to get into a parking lot. My sister was thrown about 30 feet and wrapped around a ceramic pole, concrete pole. My brother-in-law took the handlebars off the bike with him. Also was airborne about 40 or 50 feet. So finding all this out and finding how much damage there was to both of them, I was complete and total nervous wreck on Monday. I told my boss I don't know what to do. I told my boyfriend I don't know what to do. I wanted to go. I didn't know if I'd be in the way. That was my biggest concern, is if I went, is I would be in the way. People would have to be taking me places or making special accommodations because I'm there, and I did not want that. But after pretty much not being able to focus on anything else Monday, my boyfriend and my boss were both like, "You're going." So my boyfriend found me a flight that afternoon, and I landed in Orlando about 11:15 at night Eastern time, and got a rental car, drove to Daytona, got there about 12:15, 12:30 at night, and stayed at my sister's place, and there was no one there, of course. And I just crashed. Woke up the next morning. I went to the ER, and what I saw was so not what I had pictured in my head. What I had pictured in my head, when you hear a motorcycle accident, the first thing you think of was, if they survive, they're lucky. And then the next thing that you think of is, how bad is it if they're still alive? And what I had pictured in my head was my sister bandaged and bloodied up. What wasn't covered in bandages would be, soaked through with blood. And that was the vision that I had in my head, which is why I had such a hard time focusing on anything on Monday. But when I got there, she was in great spirits. She and her husband had already gone through one round of surgeries. She was smiling. She looked great, honestly, from the waist up. She had a little bit of road rash where her clothing had been torn and she had run against the road. She had to get a couple of stitches in her left elbow, but and some bruising. But other than that, from here up, she was pretty good. She does have two broken vertebrae, the L4 and L5, but they're not really doing anything about that because she can't do anything for a while. So after that immediate relief of seeing her, and she's okay, and she's going to be okay, I needed to put eyes on her. I needed to see her. I will say that my father was in the room when I got there, and I had kind of been worried about how I was going to handle him, and I just decided that I don't need to cause any additional drama. I don't need to cause any issues. I just need to be as accommodating and helpful as I can be, but at the same time, I was going to set boundaries, and I was not going to allow those boundaries to be broken down. And that was important to me. So when I saw him for the first time, I really didn't pay him a whole lot of attention. I didn't really acknowledge him that much. Um, he did say, can I have a hug? And I was like, no, sir, I'm good. You better give your papa a hug. No, sir, I'm good. And that was my boundary. And I feel like he got it. If he didn't, other family helped him. But again, I didn't want to be the cause or source of any stress or drama. I just wanted to be there for my sister and my brother-in-law. She's going to be in the ER for at least another week and a half, maybe. She's got another surgery scheduled for tomorrow, but that is only if there are no major urgent traumas that come in between now and then. My brother-in-law was released about 2 hours ago. He's in a wheelchair. He has a dislocated shoulder and had surgery on one of his fingers, and I believe one of the surgeries was for his hips. So he has some friends that have built some ramps at his house, and they have some people that have moved into their house to help them, which is great, because they were saying they were going to discharge him, and we're like, how? He can't do anything. He can't get into his house. So one thing I will say is that the outpouring of support for my sister was so awesome to see, because she's got multiple circles of friends and some of those circles overlap, and that's great. But to see how many people were rushing to volunteer to help with whatever. I mean, some people showed up to their house to build the ramps. Food, my sister never ate hospital food, ever. Like, everyone was bringing them food, or we were getting them food, because, she's a princess. I'm the queen, she's a princess. Her spirits were just so good, though, but it was, it's going to be scary. So he was discharged today. My sister's got surgery again Monday. Just coming back from a cruise and then immediately having to leave for an emergency situation like this, I am so disoriented. I am having such a hard time struggling to remind myself like what day it is, what I need to do, what I don't need to do, what I've already done, what I forgot to do. So, like, I'm finally unpacked from the cruise 2 weeks later. But what a blessing it was to be able to go down and see her and see my mom and see my aunt and uncle, and but the outpouring of support. Like, I was so worried about leaving my sister or them just being stuck or screwed without any help. That is not something I have to worry about. There were so many people lining up to help her. Like I said, they were building ramps. Someone took me to the airport on Friday because I didn't want my mom to. Like, I wanted her to stay close to my sister. But the outpouring of support that she got was huge. I told her, I'm like, you remind me so much of Mama and of Grandpa, because they were the people that everyone knew and everyone loved. And you couldn't get away with anything because somebody knew somebody. And I kind of saw that in my sister this week. Like, everyone knew her, and the people that didn't know her got to know her really quickly and liked her. And she's got that personality. And me, I can make friends relatively easily, but it's hard to get into my little core circle. But she's not like that. She's got a lot of people who, I'm not jealous, but I'm definitely happy that she's got such a huge circle of friends. Not just, acquaintances that, oh, I hope you feel better. Like, seriously, like, what can I do? What do you need? Write it down. I'll get it right now type people. And those are awesome people. I'm so thankful she has that. It's hard to be back here knowing that, there's so much to do back there, but I realized relatively quickly, I'm like, there's not a whole lot I can do right now. I'm going to try and go back later. I'll keep an eye on like flight deals and whatnot, try and go back later so I can help them with whatever stuff they need in a little bit. But it's going to be a very long road for them, and there's going to be a lot of emotions, and I think reality is going to hit a couple times, and it's not really going to be pretty. she can't bend her legs for like, I think, is it 3 months or 6 months? Either way, that's an insane amount of time to not be able to bend your legs and to just be in an L position or flat. And she's got such a go, go, go lifestyle. This is, it's going to be hard for her. It's hard for all of us, but very hard for both of them. Back home, we are going to have to move at the end of our lease, which I hate because I love the home we've made here, and I'm having a really hard time accepting the fact that we have to move. I have no choice but to accept it, but I'm having a hard time accepting it. And I think that this is just because this has been the first home where I've truly been able to be 100% me. Like, it took me 40 some odd years to find me and to love me and to be able to love other people and love myself at the same time. So it's like, this to me, this is like my, I won't say ground zero, but this is the repot for my life, when I had to take the dying plant and put it somewhere healthier and treat it better. And this is the pot that I'm growing out of. And sometimes you have to repot plants because they're thriving, not because they're dying. So this is, that's a really good way to look at it. This is one of those scenarios where I'm just gonna I'm having to repot, but it's so I can continue to thrive and grow. But I am gonna miss this place. I really am. But I think that's what it is. I think that this was my womb for this new life that I'm in, and that I love so much, and that I'm very proud of, because I've got this amazing balance that I finally wanted for so long. Okay, I'm really glad I have therapy this week because I have a lot to unpack, and sometimes I just don't even know where to start. So that's it. Check on your friends, make sure they're doing okay. You never know when they will need to lean on you, or you might need to lean on them. Check on your family and make sure they're doing okay. The accident may have only happened to 2 people, but it absolutely impacted all of us. My poor mom is just so scattered right now, and I hate that because she already had so much going on, and she's really starting to do really, really well in her life since some transitions have happened. Check on yourself. I loved that when I went to pick up my son this weekend, because I was so happy I got to see him this weekend, that my ex was telling him about self-care, making sure we brush our teeth the right way, we brush our hair the right way. And I'm like, he's talking about self-care. Maybe I'm rubbing off on him, because self-care is important, and it can be as simple as hygiene. It starts there. That's like a basic level of hygiene, you know. I am doing okay. A lot of people ask me how I'm doing. I'm tired. I'm disoriented. I am scared, worried, so grateful. But I'm okay. This too shall pass. It's going to be a really hard road, but it's just 1 year. It's not the entire book. All right, I love you guys, and I'll check on y'all next week. Hopefully I have some more updates about my sister, and all right, see you next week.